Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm having a great and wonderful day. And it seems that the liberal media are losing their ever-bloody minds. They are not being able to control themselves as the SCOTUS decision to hear the actual Trump case for the insurrection is making them lose their ever-loving minds. And this is a huge win for Trump, and they can't seem to cope with it. Here is Anna Kasparian from the TYT about the situation here, and she's not losing her mind as much as the others, but she's slightly a bit disturbed. But it is a great win for Trump. So without further ado, here's the clip.
Will in fact hear the case involving Trump claiming that presidential immunity prevents him from being prosecuted by special counsel Jack Smith in the election interference case. Now, this is a big win for Trump already, and I'll explain why. Steve Vladek, who is a CNN Supreme Court analyst and also a professor at the University of Texas School of Law, has an interesting theory. He says that the surprise is that it took the court the better part of 2 weeks to reach this result from which no justice has publicly dissented, meaning it does appear, at least for now, that unanimously these judges, Supreme Court justices, I should say, wanted to hear this case. The justices couldn't reach consensus on a way to resolve the matter without giving it full briefing and argument. So they're not gonna rush this. They've decided to really hear Trump out on this. And so this is the way they intend to go forward. It's hard to read any tea leaves into whether that makes the court more likely to side with former President Trump when it finally resolves this immunity claim, but it certainly means that even in the worst case scenario for Trump, the January 6th prosecution will be delayed for at least another 3 to 5 months. That's a pretty big win for Trump, even if he ends up losing this case.
Yeah, and it seems that it's true. The Trump immunity claim is going strong, and Trump is taking a lot of W's right now, as the Fani Willis case is not going super well for her in particular, and it seems that everything that she tries to do is just getting slapped in her face and taking the L's. And they may just completely remove the Fani Willis case altogether, and Trump is not even going to be charged with that. And again, due to our state, due to our laws, you cannot charge the person with the same crime again. So, as far as I know from our laws, so therefore, we get a huge W there. Now, of course, we have more psychotic people here. We have a man that has a very interesting way of doing things, a very interesting way of talking. And I don't think he understands very much of what's going on. He tries to show himself as an intellectual, but he's actually just a buffoon. So without further ado, here's a clip of people saying how it's preposterous and how this is happening and stuff, and about the immunity case and what have you. So take a look.
That the Supreme Court will decide this case before the last day of the term, which typically is around July 1st. If that's true, then it's equally unimaginable to me that the former president will be tried before the election in November.
That's shocking.
I think that, we don't know, but against my belief that the court would not take the case, I infer that there must be some dissent on the court by some number of the justices on the question of whether this president has absolute immunity for the particular offenses against the United States with which he's been charged by Jack Smith.
Ari, remember how, let's say, all of 2022, I came on your program and I screamed and I tore my hair out over how Merrick Garland was moving too slowly to hold Trump accountable before the next election? This is why, because you have to understand what the Supreme Court is really about. I know you like to give your viewers context, so have this on for some context about what the Supreme Court is really up to. Trump was kicked off of the Colorado ballot. All right. And around December 20th last year, the Supreme Court spooled up that case and heard that hearing within 45 days on February 8th. All right. Trump was appealed his immunity, Judge Chutkan's immunity ruling, also in the middle of December. Andrew Weissman just pointed out Jack Smith asked the Supreme Court to hear the case on December 14th. By the time we get to April 22nd, it will be 130 days since they were asked to hear the appeal. So it's 45 days when a ruling could hurt Trump, but 130 days when the delay can help Trump. That is the essence of this Supreme Court. And every single Democrat who is not on board for expanding the Supreme Court and reducing the power of these Republican theocrats in robes is in some way complicit in today's failure.
Excellent numerical, factual content.
Yeah, and these people are losing their bloody minds. They cannot contain themselves. That they probably won't even get the chance to try Trump before the actual election is over, because they all know the writing is on the wall. That Trump is most likely going to win the presidency, because as of recently, which I have not reported on it, but I will probably do a report on that most likely tomorrow, Trump has won Michigan and beat Biden by over 140,000 votes. That's inconceivable, right? Like, that is an immense amount of votes. And Biden lost to no one. He lost to no one. Biden did not win against anybody. He lost to nothing. That is bad. That is just as bad as Nikki Haley losing to nobody in Nevada. like these people are losing their ever-loving minds because they know that Trump is going to win and they can't cope with it. And the fact that they can't get some type of crime or criminal case on him before the actual election starts is driving them up the wall. And this is just the thing with this Lieutenant guys ranting about, the Supreme Court and stuff like that with, reducing their power. So do you not want a third government power? Because the way our country works is that we have 3 tiers of governmental power, and they all work in tandem, so that way we can have the best justice system possible. Because when you have 7 or so justices and other people, they are bickering, battering, which is normally good. When you make the best decisions for the people or for anything at all, and you bicker and batter and what have you, and all this other great stuff to make very tough decisions, after it, you should come out with a resolution with the majority of you saying, okay, this is it, this is our decision, and this is what we're going to make, rather than having a small amount of people where they all think the same thing and this is just the way it is. The best way to have a system is to have people have different opinions and have people strike the blows and try to have them as equal as possible, so that way you can have a fair system. And that's what our governmental power does. Without that, our country will fail, because we would just have states being able to do whatever the hell they wanted without any type of repercussions at all. Say, for instance, if a person wanted to just, lay waste to people and whatever, or what have you, they would be most likely probably be allowed to do that, because there is no third party government that's able to step in and say, hey, no, do this, or try to egregiously break the Constitution, which might be a better analogy, and, not be able to break and, stop it. We have these things in place here for a reason. And this guy, this black lunatic here, wants to reduce the power of it, because there's Republicans. Because Democrats are all great and knowing. Well, let me break it to you. That's just not the reality, and that's not what's happening here. So calm down, you people are losing it, and you guys can't cannot deal with the ability that Trump will possibly win the presidency, because everything that you guys are doing that is so insanely corrupt is falling beneath you. So we have more here with I would say CNN going on a very long rant of what's going on with the presidency and whatnot. But it's not just that. Illinois has decided to remove Trump from the ballot. Now, we don't know how far this is going to go because they're claiming the same thing with insurgents and stuff like that, insurrection and all that, which the same thing, which is, I may believe, California and Colorado and Maine all try to claim with, which, by the way, Trump has never been accused, or, well, he has been accused, but he has not been tried as a, as insurrectionist. He has not done this, and the best way to do it that is by doing a, I forgot the actual word, but, to impeach him. There we go. That's the right word. To impeach Trump. So that's the one correct way to do so. But they're going above their power to do so, and it's just not going too great for them. So without further ado, here's the actual video at hand.
The judge has just ruled that Donald Trump should be kicked off the ballot in the state. The judge there in Illinois writing that Trump is not eligible to be on the ballot because of his actions on January 6th. That makes Illinois the third state, along with Colorado and Maine, to use the 14th Amendment's insurrection ban to remove Trump from the ballot. Of course, that 14th Amendment case in Colorado is in front of the Supreme Court as I speak, waiting for a decision. Caitlin Polance is out front with more on this breaking news. And Caitlin, the thing about Illinois is we're sitting here talking about a major decision on immunity from the Supreme Court. And out of left field comes this ruling from Illinois. This is a surprise move. What is the Illinois judge saying?
It is. This is about Donald Trump and his ability to be on the ballot as a candidate because of what he did in the 2020 election, after that election, and on January 6th. This judge in Cook County, Illinois, is writing quite clearly her decision here that the Illinois State Board of Election shall remove Donald J. Trump from the ballot for the general primary election on March 19th, upcoming in a couple weeks, or cause any votes cast for him to be suppressed. Now, there's some things in this decision today that are going to put that on hold initially, but Aaron, it's quite a clear decision, and this decision from Illinois, it hops on board of what the Colorado Supreme Court has already done and said. That case that now is up at the U.S. Supreme Court, where Colorado was that state through the court system looked at the evidence around January 6th and deemed Donald Trump to be an insurrectionist and someone ineligible to be on the ballot for president. Illinois says exactly the same thing here.
Yeah, but the thing is that they're jumping to the guns here. They're assuming that, well, no, they're not assuming, they are saying that he is an insurrectionist, that he's been tried as an insurrectionist, and that was confirmed. Well, that's not the case. He has never been tried as an insurrectionist. They tried to impeach him, and they failed those about 3 or so years ago on trying to impeach Trump in that respect, and they have no water to hold. They're bringing up things that are just not true because they didn't happen. Again, Trump has come out numerous times and said that he was to go out peacefully and did not start battles and stuff like that, etc., etc. He has not done anything to do this type of stuff, and they're accusing him of doing things when he has not even been tried for it in the first place. So again, these states are going way out of their judicial bounds to the mere fact that they're making accusations that he never actually did, and they're abusing the 14th Amendment, which is a bit of a gray area, which we don't even know, as Nick Rokita has said, that this is something that was probably pertaining to something back in the World War, or not World War, but the Civil War, and that has nothing to really work in modern day. So it's really interesting on how they keep on bringing up the insurrection when he hasn't been even tried for it or proven guilty for it, and they are continuously doing this. It's just really weird.
Okay, so now Illinois coming, and as I said, in a surprise move saying this, as the broader question about the 14th Amendment in front of the Supreme Court. So what does this mean for that? What happens next, Caitlin?
Aaron, Donald Trump's team is going to need to move quickly to appeal. That is the first thing that's laid out here. They have 2 days, according to this order, to get everything paused, having him removed from the ballot or having votes in the March 19th primary not counted for him. So they got to go to the appeals court in Illinois for 2 days. The state is going to continue to look at it. And then so much is at stake at the U.S. Supreme Court. They already are looking at what Colorado did to remove him from the ballot, how that could also affect the third state that has removed Trump from the ballot, Maine. That wasn't in a judicial proceeding. That was by the people who oversee the elections there. But the U.S. Supreme Court is ultimately going to have to come down on, is this something that states even can do in their primary elections? And would someone like Donald Trump potentially qualify? Is the office of the presidency something that is applicable when you're looking at the insurrectionist clause of the U.S. Constitution? So all of that is at stake here. In this decision, it's not on hold, waiting for the U.S. Supreme Court to rule. So if they take a very long time and the Illinois state courts say, no, he can be removed from the ballot, then that may be it as far as their primary goes. But there is going to be all eyes on the Supreme Court and what they do and how quickly they do it, too.
Yeah, and it's just another way to annoy Trump and, I would say, election interference. Because, again, they are, I don't think they are actually allowed legally to actually even remotely do this. I think would be considered election interference, and this is things that from Necrocreta has said that this has never been tried before. So I don't know what they're doing. It's quite odd that they're doing any of this, and and again, it seems it's an overreach of their power, and so be it. And if we want to know the actual face of the matter is of this person, what they're doing here, that we have this person here. This is the person, this is the judge that is doing all the insanity stuff here. She is the one that is that removed Trump from the ballot. So these are what they're doing. Very far left people. So that's just the way it is. So we're going to continue a little bit here with this last guy where he makes some points, and we're going to wrap this up.
Well, knowing the facts of the case, Aaron, and having been on the floor when Donald Trump incited and aimed the mob that paused the counting of the vote and led to the violence, I'm not surprised that a judge would find that he's disqualified because he committed insurrection, which of course the Constitution says if you do that, you can't be on the ballot. Aaron, I don't know if your viewers know this, but I was the only member who testified in the Colorado case. And I did that a little bit reluctantly because I'm competitive and I want to beat Donald Trump and the idea of MAGA, and I want to do that this November because I think doing that is the best reset we can have for democracy. But a plain reading of the Constitution suggests that if you commit insurrection, and it seems pretty clear that he did, that you can't be on the ballot. And so I look forward to our Supreme Court resolving it, and however they decide, I will accept that, and we'll move to November.
Now, my problem is that do we need to trust this guy? Because Eric Soulwell, if you haven't noticed, is a man of bang bang the fang fang, and I think we should probably know a few things here. So we have this. The House Ethics Committee concludes probe into Representative Eric Soulwell's interaction with a suspected Chinese spy. So, is that him? Oh, that's not good. So yeah, this is Fang Fang. And, again, I'm not quite sure what's going on here. Because this guy is a bit of an idiot. He's trying to play the two lines, or what have you. And it's just it's not working for me. Because, obviously, you've been doing some bit of a groundwork, a bit of a piping, you could say, with a Chinese spy, I could say. And you say you're going to be with the Supreme Court or whatever they rule, but again, it's really hard to say what you wanted to say. You say here. Anywho, that's what's there going on. Liberal media is losing their bloody minds. They cannot stand the actual reality of everything, and you'll love to see it. Alright guys, that's the video. Like to share. So, take care, my friends. I'm disgusted.
what I see in public. Even people closest to us can't be trusted. Cause it's algorithmic disease, the social media.